So as you saw in the previous clips, I was working on building a trailer. And the reason I was building this trailer is I was finding when I go out on these trips, I was real limited on space. I've got the little 5-foot bed on my truck, which, yes, you could argue, well, why didn't you get the long bed? Well, when I bought this truck, it was during COVID inventory, and I was desperate for a vehicle, and I was in Texas. And trying to find a 4-wheel drive Toyota in Texas during COVID was like impossible. So I actually had this shipped into the dealer from Colorado or Arkansas or somewhere crazy like that. So that's how I ended up with this truck. And it was like, that's what I got. So I'm making it work. But, you know, I'm not mad about it because the long bed actually reduces the payload capacity of these trucks just because of the added weight of the additional frame and the additional body panels. So the short bed really doesn't matter too much to me. I'm able to fit most everything I need in the back. The only issue is sleeping in the back. I mean, I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'5". So, you know, if I kind of scrunch my legs up or I sleep at an angle, I can sleep in the back just fine. And I've done that several times, but I have to take everything out of the truck to fit myself in there. And I tried getting one of those platforms where you could put all the stuff under it and sleep on the platform, and the headroom just wasn't there. It was too claustrophobic. So I took the platform out, and it wasn't working for me taking the stuff out. I did the rooftop tent for a while. Loved the rooftop tent. That was pretty much perfect. And then I was finding that there was some equipment that I wanted to carry with me, like recovery gear and stuff, and I was kind of running out of places to put it, and I was getting tired of moving it over and over and over. So I got the roof boxes and put all of my equipment in the roof boxes, taking the rooftop tent off. And then, of course, on top of those boxes and on top of the other the cab rack, I've got my solar panels. So I've kind of maxed out what I can do with this truck. I've already taken the back seat out and put all of my my kind of electronics and stuff that I don't want out and exposed, and I want it a little bit more secure. You know, I'll put that stuff back there, and then all the rest of my equipment and gear goes in the back. So, you know, by the time I grab a dog to take with me or whatever, it's, you know, I was shuffling a lot of stuff around. So I got to thinking, you know, towing a trailer off-road does not sound like a whole lot of fun, but I've seen several people do it. Obviously, they make like those overlanding trailers with the pull-out kitchens, and you can mount your rooftop tent on them. That's fantastic. I think those are really neat. But the thing is if I got a trailer, I would want to be able to take my motorcycle with me. Not every time, but I just wanted to have that option. And also, I kind of wanted this trailer to be multi-purpose, so I could unload it and use it for hauling stuff or doing dump runs or whatever. I wouldn't be limited to an off-road trailer that just has pull-out drawers and cabinets in it. And then, of course, anything that was designed to fit a motorcycle was not really designed for off-road kind of stuff. Things such as doing an enclosed trailer and customizing that wasn't going to work, because to put my rooftop tent on top, I would need a trailer with a really strong frame, and most of those enclosed trailers don't have a very strong frame. So I kind of kept encountering this situation. I saw several custom builds where people would either custom build a flatbed trailer or purchase a flatbed trailer and modify it. So that way, you know, they lift it, put bigger tires on it, and they can put their motorcycle in it along with all their gear and their rooftop tent on top. So I did kind of find a couple companies that custom build those to order. Nothing turnkey right off the lot, but even then, those were outrageous. I think they were like $12,000 or $15,000. So I figured, okay, I'm going to just pick up a trailer, got that little flatbed, a couple $1,000, and I selected that one in particular because it's got a fully boxed frame all the way around. A lot of these flatbed, just little utility trailers, have just like angle iron frames, and you know, they're great for hauling a little lawnmower or something on, but for any kind of extensive heavy-duty use, I wouldn't have done that. So I selected this one with the fully boxed frame. And I basically swapped the axle and put the bolt patterns on trailers, for the most part, are the same as a Jeep, 5x4.5. So I had some extra Jeep wheels with like larger tires. So I put those on it. So I had the foundation right there. The flatbed trailer lifted with the bigger off-road tires. So from that point, I just needed the additional steel. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab the camera here and just do a quick little walk around. I'm doing this backwards. I actually just got done camping and came down a pretty rugged little trail that you're actually going to see clips of towards the end of this video. I mean, this trail was seriously like somebody on a side-by-side came up next to me because I kind of like went off so he can go around. He's like, "You ever been down this before?" I'm like, "Nope." He goes, "It gets pretty bad down there." Okay. And he goes, okay. And he's like looking at my truck, looking at the trailer, and he's like, "Well, I guess just take it slow." Okay, have a good day.
This before?
I haven't.
You haven't?
Nope. Am I in for a good time?
Yeah.
Cool. I ain't scared.
But we used to bring a 4-door long bed Ford up this.
Yep.
I don't know how we ever did it. Looking at it now, thinking, man, was I stupid or what? I never pulled the trailer down it or up it.
Worst case, I'll turn around and go back.
Let's go real slow.
Sounds good.
Because there's a lot of big rocks and stuff you gotta go over.
Sounds fun.
So, have fun.
See ya. So yeah, I got through it. It wasn't that bad. It got a little narrow in spots, but there was no part where I was like, uh-oh, I don't know. The other day I got into some trails that were pretty hair-raising, but yeah, that one was fun. So I'll show the clips of those later on, but let me grab the camera. I'll do a quick little walk around to this trailer and kind of show you what I got set up here. So, as I mentioned, fully boxed frame on this trailer. The axle, I've never seen one of these before. It's a square axle, 2-inch square. So I don't really know how strong that is. Never mind the strap hanging there. But it didn't require I re-weld any perches or anything. I just pulled it out and put it under the springs. So that gave me an instant, 4-inch lift or something, and mounted the tires on, or mounted wheels and tires. Of course, I had to remove the original fenders because the original tires were like much smaller. So I had to figure out the fender situation, which I came up with these drop-down Craftsman toolboxes. That was actually something I was really wanting, so I was really happy that this worked out the way that it did. And then for the back, I just went off of the original bracket, cut up some of the square tubing, and mounted just a rubber flat. So for DOT purposes, that should suffice. For the requirements for fenders, I don't know what all that is, but otherwise the rest of this, I just took some 2-inch square tubing and welded it together. Don't look too closely at my welds, they're ugly, but it worked. I actually have my welder with me inside the trailer in case any of those welds broke and I needed to fix something. But I mean, if anything would have broke, it would have broke on these trails I took this on the past few days. So I'm real happy with how it held up. The rooftop tent is still on the bed rack that was on my truck in the place of the camper shell. I actually was real happy to make this work. In fact, you can see part of this frame here is sticking out. Now that wasn't intentional because these are angled in. The original plan was to have it squared, if you will. So the frame of this was going to come up to the end of that. But there were a couple things. One, this thing was narrower. I actually did not adjust this from the bed of my truck. And I only have so much adjustment in there, and I didn't want to sacrifice any rigidity. So I figured, okay, well, if I angle in the sides to match the width of that, that'll make it simpler. And also, in hindsight, having this angled in like that actually helps give a little added strength to this trailer itself. So that actually worked out really well. And then having this rack mounted to it all the way around helps give some strength to the framework as well. So I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. I was able to bring both spares. So obviously on the Jeep, 4 wheels. So I have the 2 tires for the trailer and 2 spares. I just went to Harbor Freight and got some of these cheapo spare mounts. So that worked out really well. The back of this thing, the gate, trying to figure out how I was going to get this to close was kind of like a whole other ordeal. I ended up going to Harbor Freight and I was like, you know what, that looks about the length. So this is like one of those trailer hitch extension adapter things, and I stuffed it in there. It's not even bolted in or welded in, it's just kind of in there, but I stuck it in, then I grabbed some of those rubber hitch covers just at O'Reilly's, and it actually works perfect. So I'll probably clean that up later, but for now it works. It's not going anywhere. And then down here for the latch, I had the angle iron that I kind of mounted the box on. So I just picked up some of this and I just moved this little latch bit down 1 notch and mounted the original latches there. So that is actually, I was concerned about it being down so low, but it's actually really strong. No issues at all. So all in all, I'm real happy with how that turned out. The 270 awning, that worked out well. You'll see it in a little later in this video with that opened up. Got my hammock stand mount there. And I'll tell you too, you can see that where this sticks out, I hit that with a few branches. So that actually kind of works out really well as kind of like a bash plate to kind of knock anything down. I still scrubbed up here a little bit and scrubbed along here a little bit, but all in all, that went well. You can see everything's all ski-wampus back here because that trail I just came down was pretty rough. So anyway, whatever. It's not going anywhere. As for this, I had to put it came with one of those jacks that mounted in there, but I had to change it for one of these guys that folds up. Because this rack on the back of my truck swings out. And I need it to swing out to get into the back of the truck to drop the tailgate. So the jack being mounted there permanently in a vertical position was a problem because the tire hit it. And then even if you look at this trailer, I don't think it'll show very well on camera, but it is nose down about 1 inch. And I do have a 2-inch drop, which was perfect. But I had to go with this 3 1/4 drop because so the way that this whole tire thing swings out, you can see the bottom of it above the hitch there, and you can see the height of the little latch thing on the trailer. So it'll even rub if it's not perfectly level. So if I had the 2-inch on there, it wouldn't open at all. So, and that is tow rated. So they say, I think 10,000 pounds or something. So really the only concern, which this is nowhere near 10,000. I figure the way that it sits, the trailer alone was 880, I think, dry. So bigger, heavier wheels, tires, of course the steel framework, which was, I believe, about 300 pounds of steel. And then of course the 200-ish pounds for the rooftop tent and that, and then the boxes and all the gear that I've got in there, spare tires. I'm probably sitting roughly around somewhere between 2,000, maybe 2,500. I don't think I'm at that 2,500. But if I put my motorcycle in here as well, then I'd definitely be at the 2,500. And it's got like a 2,700 total capacity, so payload capacity. So I think I'm about there. Not payload, gross vehicle with the payload. So anyhow, yeah, the trailer tows really well. Weight-wise, everything is distributed pretty good. But yeah, the only other inconvenience is to get this swing out thing open, it hits the front of the trailer because the tongue is too short. So I actually have to kind of turn the truck at not quite a 90 degree, but about a 45 degree so I can get it to swing out. But yeah, all said and done, I got to pick up that strap that's dragging there. I could not be happier with how this turned out. I had everything opened up at camp, everything except that one pull-out awning on this side of the truck, but everything else, the 270, the rooftop tent, the awning on that side of the truck, had it all opened up, and it was perfect. It was flawless. I'm so happy. This was basically a shakedown test to make sure everything was ready, because I'm going to be taking this on a 2,000-mile trip here next week. So based on what I put this trailer through these past few days, if anything was going to break, it would have broke. And so far, I don't see anything. I'm going to get this back home and give it a good once-over inspection, double-check the tightness of the bolts and stuff, and I think it's ready to go. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyhow, I'll go ahead and pop in these videos that show the setup and some of the trails I went down, and enjoy.